Hello, LoveBugs, and welcome to another episode of Call Me Ruby. Today is all about why is it that we're finding that more couples are being tempted to engage in sex before marriage. Why are we seeing so many believers who once were really, committed and dedicated to doing this suddenly having second thoughts? Well, I talked to a few people about this, and I just read a few articles and just tried to educate myself on what the heck is going on. And the main thing I keep hearing, which I knew anyway because I've had so many conversations with people about this, the main thing they are afraid of is whether or not they will be sexually satisfied in their marriage. They're concerned that if they wait, they are putting themselves at risk for not being satisfied with the situation. I get that sex is so important. Who wouldn't want to be sexually satisfied? But my thing is, we're looking at it all wrong. If certain things are in place, the sexual relationship would be what it needs to be. Sex starts before the act. And I know we hear that a lot, but it's true. Sex starts before the act. It starts with communication. It starts with how you treat each other during the day. It starts just mentally and emotionally. It starts there. That is what makes the physical experience what it needs to be. You don't have to worry about that if you've taken the time to build your relationship, to build a solid friendship, to build a solid relationship, to learn each other, to know each other's quirks, the ins and outs. It's all about allowing God to be the center of your relationship, to allow God to steer that relationship, to allow God to be your focus. And in seeking God for that relationship, all things are going to work out. God gives his children good gifts. He's not going to put you in a situation where you're not satisfied and where you're not happy. Now, you can put yourself in a situation. You can do it. But if it's truly someone that God desires for you, and he's giving you the go-ahead and the clearance, then the relationship is going to be what it needs to be. I don't understand how you can be sexually incompatible with somebody if that person truly loves you. If love is truly the glue that is bonding you, there's nothing you won't do for one another. You'll do what you need to do to make sure that person is satisfied and happy. And you won't be selfish about it. If you're dating a selfish person, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be selfish lovers. You just got to pay attention to that person while you're dating them. A person who really is into you, who really loves you, who really wants your best, they're not going to be selfish. They're not going to ignore what you like and what you don't like. So sexual compatibility, it's all about, it starts here, and it starts here. Love pushes you to do things for one another. Love pushes you to, and it causes you to want to satisfy, want to do things in a manner that's pleasing to one another. And I'm not saying you have to do things you don't like. Love also says, if you don't like this, then we're not gonna engage in that. It's just all about maturity. Your maturity level is what makes your sexual intimacy what it is. You have to be mature. You have to be mature as an individual and as a couple. So I had a friend ask me, was I concerned about, possibly not being sexually satisfied because I've only been with one person. Yeah. When I tell people that, they look at me like I'm some kind of unicorn. Like I said before, my husband was my first, so I'm divorced now, and I made that same commitment. For me, I don't want to have a lot of people to compare, my experience with. Not saying, that, not knocking people's experiences, because I know we all have different experiences, but as for me, I kind of enjoy the idea of not feeling like I have to compare, this person did this, and he don't do it like this person, and they don't do it like this person. I kind of enjoy the whole experience of not having to worry about that. So to me, that's just one of the perks that come with waiting. I haven't shared a whole lot yet on this channel about a lot of my personal experiences. I'm gonna get to those. I have a lot of interesting stories, to say the least. But since we're talking about not feeling the need to engage in sex before marriage, I thought I would share a few of my, experiences. I was a virgin when I got married. I was 29. Lord Jesus, I was 29. But let me tell you guys, it was not easy. It was not easy. But I just never put myself in situations where I felt tempted. I didn't have a lot of boyfriends either. Can I be honest with you guys? Like, all through junior high, high school, all that, I was so intimidated by boys and men. I was just so shy that I was so awkward around men because I was shy, and a lot of the guys that expressed interest in me, they were really way past me in that era, if you know what I mean. So I'm just this inexperienced, shy, awkward, quirky girl, and so I just stayed far away from all of that. The thing about it is, you have to date people or only get involved with people that respect your decision. Put yourself in situations that you feel like would tempt you. See, each person is different. I don't think there are set rules for everybody. People are different in the boundaries they have, and some things that tempt you may not tempt others. So you just have to use wisdom. You're going to be tempted. That's just natural. But it's easier to fight those things when you have a strong foundation and the two of you, you both share the same desire and commitment to wait until marriage. You don't really have to always go around saying, you're not gonna do this, you're celibate. You don't have to go around announcing it. Just the way you carry yourself sometimes goes a long way. Don't say one thing but totally carry yourself in a way that's confusing, because then the person will probably try to tempt you, or will try to push the card, or really try to see where you are and if you're really serious about where you stand. I have to get this off my chest. I have had so many conversations with people about how they do not want to get involved with a virgin or someone who hasn't had a lot of experience. I cannot wrap my head around that, because to hear that is like a slap in the face to me, because me saving myself from my husband is a big deal to me. It's always been a big deal to me. I've always wanted to show him the utmost respect, God first the utmost respect, and myself the utmost respect. I've always saw it as a gift, something that should be treasured and appreciated. And to have a discussion with someone who said, oh, I don't think I'm interested in a woman who I gotta teach things to. Whew. Okay. I didn't know how to feel about that, you guys. I'm like, seriously? You wouldn't want to engage in dating a virgin or marrying a virgin because you don't want to teach her things? What is happening to society? What is really going on? To be honest, this is just my opinion. I think the whole learning one another process is the fun part. I mean, I don't want to be too much in this discussion, but we need to be real. We need to discuss real things and not be afraid to, as believers, to talk about stuff and not be afraid to say things. But to me, I look forward. I get excited. Yeah, I do. I get excited when I think about the whole us learning one another. It's all about patience and love and communication. To me, I think it's cool to not have experienced that person, and then to, when you finally do come together, to spend the rest of your lives, you're forever learning how to please one another. I just feel some kind of way, because I'm like, what was once considered a wonderful and precious thing to offer your spouse is almost a disadvantage to some. Like, you're like, oh no, we don't have time for that. We don't have time to, And I saw that on a reality show, which I don't watch a lot of those for this reason, because I get heated about it. But I saw this on a reality show where a guy was like, I don't want to stay involved with this person because she's a virgin, and I don't really feel like, I don't feel like taking the time to teach her. Where is this whole thing coming from? So she might can teach you something. I am all about, in my next relationship, holding off on all that physical. I think it would be such a beautiful thing to share our first kiss as a married couple. I'm excited about doing this. And I know it's just this huge concern that you may be disappointed by what you see. Oh my gosh, I get this so much when people find out that I'm waiting till waiting until I get married to have sex. People sitting there saying, girl, you better look, you don't know what you're gonna get. I don't think they understand. I'm trying to make it to the wedding day. You cannot be looking at stuff. I don't seriously. Seriously. People need to be praying that we make it to the reception. Let's just make it to the reception at least. So be encouraged, you guys. Just know that it will be well worth the wait. Take the time to nurture and cultivate your connection in other areas. You guys, you really can't go wrong if you make sure that area is solid. Because like I said, you're going to want to do what it takes. And you have all the time in the world to figure out what each other likes. So you guys, don't stress. It's going to be okay. Don't stress it. It's going to be okay. Stay prayed up. Trust the process. Just know that God's going to give you the desires of your heart. I know it seems so cliche. I know people say that. You're thinking, well, I need to make sure it's right. Just trust that if your mindset is right, it's going to be right. You don't have to test drive. I still hate using that. You don't have to feel like you have to go against your morals, your commitment you made to God, just to be sure. Just trust the process. Trust God. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Call Me Ruby. I so enjoyed this conversation. I look forward to further conversations about these topics. If you have a comment about this topic, please, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic, especially because it's one you don't hear about a lot. So I would love to hear your input regarding why you think it is that so many couples are foregoing the whole waiting until marriage to have sex because they're afraid that they won't be sexually satisfied. Have you experienced this? Are you having thoughts about this? I want to hear you, so please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Feel free to subscribe so you can keep up with all the info coming your way. Thank you again for tuning in. I look forward to the next chat. Be blessed. I love you guys.